Joining us in studio is Michael Francis, music director of the Florida Orchestra. How are you?
I'm very well. How are you? I have to say, Jack, you're looking very youthful this morning.
Thank you. I try my best.
I've been keeping him young, Michael.
It's the coffee. So tell us about the 50th anniversary season. You guys are having a fantastic year so far. What are the latest highlights that you can come tell us about this morning?
Yes, we've had a really remarkable season, and I think what's exciting for us is to see how many people are coming to watch us. Last year we sold more tickets than ever before, and this year we're going to break all records. So it really is an exciting time to be part of the Florida Orchestra, and anybody who wants to come and watch us, this is the great time. We're having a fantastic season, so if an orchestra reaches 50, that means the whole community should be celebrated, because in America, actually the way it works is that really 30% of our revenue comes from ticket sales, but the rest comes from people wanting to give to the orchestra, wanting to support it. So when we reach 50,
it's a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, that means the community has wanted to keep something like that going and thriving, and now we're doing better than ever.
Do you find at the Florida Orchestra that when people go once, they get hooked pretty quickly and they keep coming back?
Absolutely, I'm a very good fisherman. I mean, it's really true. Once you go and see an orchestra live, it's a totally different experience. Listening on the recording is not the same, but when you watch people moving their bows together, and when you watch the risk that goes on, when you feel it, when you listen together in a hall, it's totally different. I often liken it to watching a comedy. If you watch a comedy on your own, you might chuckle a little bit. You watch it with your friends, it's hilarious. Everything is heightened when you share it. It's like when you go to the stadium and watch the Bucks, hopefully when they win occasionally, right? Every now and again.
Occasionally.
Yeah. That sense of everyone, excitement that comes from it. But if you watch it on your own, it's not the same.
It's like when you're here in the studio with us right now.
Exactly.
It's hard to explain it, though, because we can talk about it, but when you're actually there, when I see it, when I was watching Michael, when I was watching everyone there, the energy you feel when you're in there, it's second to none. You can't get that anywhere else.
I'd like to give away some tickets, especially to people who have never been to the Florida Orchestra before. Let's get those first-timers in there so they can experience it and keep coming back. The phone number is 800-969-9352. If you want to go to the Florida Orchestra, see what we're talking about in person, feel it, live it, give us a call right now. We have some tickets to give away.
You fill in for Jack, you're like Santa Claus, just giving out tickets.
Why not?
That's good. But you know, that goosebump moment when you feel your skin prickling and that glorious moment and something happens, that's what goes on. Mm-hmm. And this weekend we have a fantastic concert going on. Unusually, we're on Friday, we're in St. Pete as well, in Mahaffey, and Saturday, and Sunday we're in Ruth Eckerd Hall. So it's a different time. Usually we're in Tampa on Saturday. So people want to come to this Mahaffey on Friday, it's a different place. And this is a big deal for us because we've commissioned a local composer, someone who was born and raised here in Tampa, went to Brandon High School, called Michael Ippolito. And he went and watched the Florida Orchestra when he was younger, decided, I want to become a composer.
Homegrown talent.
Yeah, and now he's a world-famous composer, and he's written a piece all about Florida, which I find fascinating because I gave him free whatever he wanted to do, and he said, I'm going to do it about the nature. So he started writing about the swamps. Now, when you think of swamps, what do you think of?
Well, draining them these days, but aside from that.
Well, he kind of sings very beautifully. I think of alligators.
I think of reptiles, yes.
Yeah, I just think of things that can eat me because I'm from the UK where the most scary thing we have is a daddy long legs. But he sees it in a very different way, and this piece is so beautiful and so epic, and it's a chance to really celebrate all that we love about Florida from someone right here, homegrown talent in Tampa.
It's so interesting that somebody can take something like, nature in Florida and put it to music like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you have that. You have sort of the swamps, then you have the storms, and then you have the sea, the waves. Has everything you could possibly wish for. And then the second piece we have is Rachmaninoff's theme, variations on the theme of Paganini, which is very famous. If you've seen Groundhog Day, that's the piece he plays in it. All sorts of other pieces. And that's going to be performed by Aldo Lopez Gavilan, who's a Cuban artist. And, of course, Tampa has a huge Cuban heritage in Ybor City. So he's exceptional, an amazing jazz musician, classical. He's kind of the Mozart of Cuba, really. He's a brilliant guy. And then we finish with Dvorak's New World Symphony, which everybody knows as well. One of the most famous movements is the second movement, which has been set to Going Home, is that very famous spiritual. And having all these pieces together is just a celebration of America, celebration of Florida. And this is our real our golden concert, in a sense, to really look at what we are and where we are in the community. And, if you're under the age of 18, you come with your parents, you come for free. And I think what's really exciting about the orchestra is that when you go and listen to it as a child, you never forget it. Michael Ippolito came, and he became a composer. But
Got to get them young.
Got to get them young,
right.
yeah. And when you listen to music or you play music as a child, it sparks off all 7 types of intelligence at the same time. Parents, your kids will be smarter if you send them to the Florida Orchestra.
Now, this weekend, Friday and Saturday, it's going to be at the Mahaffey in St. Pete. Sunday at Ruth Eckerd Hall.
That's right. So usually I say it was often in Tampa on Friday, but now we're doing 2 in St. Pete. That's just the way it worked out. But it's just so exciting, and I feel that we have an amazing energy, as you mentioned, Aaron, going on. And we had Star Wars concerts last weekend or 2 weekends ago, and we had thousands of people there.
Chewbacca show up?
He was there, and that was a huge hit. So many new people, and I just sense that there's a real buzz going on. So do come and see us. This is a winning team.
And the phone number to win some tickets, 800-969-9352. You can find out more at floridaorchestra.org. Michael Francis, music director of the Florida Orchestra, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you very much, young Jack.
Back with more of AM Tampa Bay next on 970 WFLA.